Hi there, and welcome to the story of colour from science to style. Here with you, Clare Maxfield from Image Innovators. This is one of my favourite all-time topics. I just love talking about colour. So let's dive in. This webinar is going to take you on a journey through time and light, from the philosophy of ancient Greece to the fashion studios of today. The disciplines that have emerged from centuries of discovery, innovation, and psychological insight. What began as the musings of one man about light and the divinity has turned into the system that has evolved that we use today. So let me share it with you. So what is colour analysis? Foundations of it is how the colours interact with your natural features, your hair, your skin and your eyes. And if anyone says to you, you should cover the hair when you're draping, ask them why. Okay, sure, if your hair is the wrong colour, like you have coloured it wrong, certainly take it out of the picture. But if your hair is natural, or it is the hair you're going to work with, and believe me, I was draping a celebrity once with a particular colour hair, and we had to keep it in because that was part of her brand. So be aware that your colouring and what you should wear does come from your hair, your skin, and your eyes. You want to enhance your natural beauty, and you know what? Wearing the wrong colours can diminish it. So what are we looking for? We're looking to make sure that the right colours will make you appear more vibrant, healthy and confident. They can make you look like you know what you're doing, like you can do the job. The wrong colours can make you look tired, exhausted, drained, and generally, especially in a work environment, not up to the task. In a dating environment, not radiating your inner beauty. It really just is a detractor. So we want you to look fabulous, amazing, and your best without makeup on. And can I tell you right here, right now, if someone tells you, oh, with the right lipstick, that'll look amazing, that'll look fabulous, guess what? It doesn't suit you. So here, how did we get to here though? Well, when we talk about colour analysis, we talk about the skin tones. So we're looking at the warmth and the coolness in the skin tones. We're looking at your contrast, the contrast between your hair, your skin and your eyes. Are you low? Are you medium? Are you high contrast? Because guess what? That's how you wear your colours. And what your intensity. Looking at your skin, your hair, your eyes, are you better with clear colours, or are you better with softer, muted shades? And let me tell you this, for some of you who are trying to get ahead, and they know that that's often the darker, more intense colours, and your colouring might be like the young lady on the screen here, whose colouring is softer, more muted. If she was to wear strong, clear colours, well, guess what? Now, if she was to wear something like that, oh, God forbid, she was to put on even, something like that, it will look woeful. She really needs quite possibly something a little more like that. But we'll get to that later. So, the first theories, where did it start? Started BC, Aristotle. So this Greek bloke sat there and went, colours come from the divine light above to mix with the earthly darkness to create a spectrum that we see. Well, it took about 2,000 years, 1660s to be precise, to see that he kind of had a point, but it wasn't quite divine. So Sir Isaac Newton worked out that when white light goes into a prism, it splits into all of its varying colours. So yes, he built the first colour wheel, but he showed that without light, there is no colour. And that is why, as the sun rises and light comes through the sky, we start seeing more colours around us till the highest part of the day where the sun's at its zenith, and especially if it's the middle of summer or you're right there on the equator, everything becomes really bright and shiny and golden because you've got the sun there. Well, when you consider this as the globe, and if the sun's there on the equator and you live kind of over here or kind of over here, guess what? The sun's getting diffused, and that is why when you go on that fabulous holiday to Bali or Hawaii or the Mediterranean, you bring back those fabulous outfits that just look sensational there and down the beach and at the restaurants, and you get home to London, Melbourne, New York, somewhere kind of a bit away from it. Those bright colours aren't quite working as well because the light is different. So just be aware, the purer the light, the more intense it is, the brighter the colours, the further away it is, the softer the colours. But now we are looking at you. This is what we're concerned about. So, as we said, this is where the early groundwork started. Started off all mystical and then came down into a bit of scientific fact. Sure, put a beam of light through a prism, we get colour. Then the 1700s, the hues became important. This is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Revolutionised how we think about it because he started putting psychology behind it. So warmer colours energise, excite us. Reds, orange, yellows. As they say, if you really want to stand out in a crowd, wear red. Whilst cool tones, blues, greens, purples, calm and soothe. What is the most trusted colour in pretty much the world? Blue. What is the colour of finance around the world? Blue. Navy blue to be precise. The darker it is, the more efficient it gets. So this is when the colour psychology first started. And when you think about it today, we use it for decorating our houses, creating logos, putting clothes on our body. We don't just see colour, we experience with our emotions and our memories where it's come from for us. Then came the 1800s, the science of harmony. And it was Michel Eugène Chevreul, a French chemist working in a tapestry factory, discovered that colours don't exist in isolation. A colour on its own has one way of looking. If you put the opposite colour to it, which is simultaneous contrast, you intensify that colour. We as image consultants use this all the time by telling our clients, whatever the opposite colour to your hair, your skin and your eyes are, they're your complementary colours. Using it down there, and they make us look amazing. Always wear your complementary, your signature colours, like, yellow, purple, anything that sits opposite something on the colour wheel is its complementary. It really lifts it. Now, it was really interesting. So I'd learnt this. I knew about doing it with hair, skin, eyes, complementary colours, also putting the same colours on my clients. They are the intensifying colours. So if I had, a pale green eye, put a pale green and, look, it makes your eye look greener. But my first lot of colour swatches, they weren't real flash. But anyway, the printer, he was doing digital printing. And I said to him, he was talking about some colours that I wanted. And I said, look, you've got it there. He goes, the only reason I've got it there is because I've got the other colour next to it in that bit of artwork. On its own, it will not look like that. Bang! That was why I realised when there are colours, I was asking him to print for my colour swatches back then. They weren't coming through because we were having to work with other colours to get it. Happy to say my swatches, they come from a 12 colour ink printer. So I can pretty much capture any colour I want in those. I digress. So we're still talking historically, the 1920s. This is when we started seeing the seasons, but not necessarily how you immediately think. And I even know myself, not how I was initially taught about the seasons. When the 20s came by, it was Johann Itten. And he discovered that his students in the Bauhaus School of Switzerland, when they were using the paints to draw, to etch, to create something in the colours that were inherent in their own colouring, they did much better work. Now, we only broke it down to 4 colour groups. So we had the temperature, they're either warm or cool. And the value, they're either light or dark. So we created the seasonal palettes. Warm light, cool light, spring and summer. Warm dark, cool dark, autumn winter. So this is where those started. But it was nothing to do with the seasons. It was more like, what's something, an analogy I can use with colours that are warm and light as opposed to colours that are cool and light, as opposed to warm and dark and cool and dark. And it was terminology that he had that he knew he could use. But it keeps adapting. So far we've got the 4 seasons now. We've got psychology coming through. We've got the emotional impetus that colours create. 40s and 70s, Susan Cagle. She was the first one to link someone's colouring with their style essence, their personality. Not just the, red is, powerful. No, if you have these colours, winter, you have this personality style as well. And she wanted to bring out, and she had multiple terms for it all, she wanted to bring out someone's inner essence in how they appeared. But wait, it continues, the 1980s. Carol Jackson, Colour Me Beautiful. And this is when colour came to the masses. I had my first colours done in the 80s. That's what we called it. Have you had your colours done? I've had my colours done. And you got a little book with little bits of fabric in it. And that's how we knew what colours we were. And this was when women started revolutionising their wardrobes based on science and style. But it didn't stop there. So, it's becoming accessible. The book's out there. People want to have their colours done. Colour Me Beautiful is popping up all over the world. And then, 1990s, Doris Puza came in with the 12 directions. She kind of went, alrighty, so you might have someone who's a winter, cool, clear, but they marry someone who's a spring, warm, clear, and they have children, and they're brights, because when you bring the two together. So this is when they started looking at all of them, and I like to talk about them that way. You have the 4 parents, and then their offspring. One might be more like the mother, one might be more like the father. And this is how we sort of divvied it up, shall we want for a better word. And what are we looking at here? We're looking at their temperature. Warm or cool undertones? Are we looking at their value? How light or dark they are? Their intensity, their clear as to how soft. So this is what we were looking at earlier. But now we're putting them into colour groups. And each one is affected by the other 2 that are around it, by the parent ones. Because no one neatly fits into 4 boxes. That's why we've got the 12. Can I tell you, even when I've been working with the 12, they don't always neatly fall into this. I remember training once, we had 2 models, identical colour groups. One had low contrast, one had medium contrast. They had to wear their colours, like the way I keep thinking I'm playing with my colours when I do that, had to wear their colours differently. So there's also the contrast. There's so many things we're looking at. But understanding your natural colouring, what are we looking at? We're looking at their undertone. We're looking from aligning the clothing with their natural pigments, matching the hair, the skin, the eyes. Because we want your skin to look clearer, your eye to look brighter. and what you're wearing to harmonise, be authentic with who you are, how people see you. And the language. So we talk about tints, they're light, bright, airy colours. They invoke optimism. Tones, muted grade colours, elegance. Colours of autumn, even the colours of deep summer. You might be going, some of you are going to have heard me say, deep summer, I don't know that colour group. I'm actually talking about the summer as a season of nature. So please don't go running around looking for deep summer. And shades, we know the dark colours command attention and convey authority. You don't see the police going down the road in pastel pink, pale blue. When someone wants to convey authority, they wear deeper, richer, darker colours. Because the colours we wear are giving a message about us. I recently just did a webinar, the language of style. We are talking, before we've said anything, just by the colours we wear, the styles we wear. So when you know what impression you want to give people, you can help by using just the colours alone can create that impression. But how do we do it in our daily life? Well, for a start, in these both cases, they are wearing the colours and the intensity that suits their colour profile. The girl on the left below, she's wearing what we call analogous. They're colours that sit next to each other on the colour wheel. Her skin is falling into these shades and she's wearing the red. Look, all very close. And her hair, if we have a look, is sitting really in one of the decks. So this is her. Now our complementaries I mentioned earlier, these are our ones that are opposite on the colour wheel. And here we have the purple with the sage, with the mint. Anything that sits opposite is going to make the colour pop. Remember we talked about that earlier. So when you also know the rules, you can help your clients put the right colours together to complete an outfit, even coordinate their makeup accessories with them. I've even worked with some people, we've done their houses. Now, little aside, husband and wife can be completely different colouring. And generally they want to be in a house that makes them both feel comfortable, which is where if they're both completely different, neutrals may work and you use pops of colour. Or you'll find the husband has the lounge area and the wife has the bedroom area. But it's really interesting to see the colours of the houses people live in. Again, I digress. So, why do colours matter to you? So the right colours going to brighten your eyes. You don't need to put drops in all the time. Even out your skin tone. You don't need as much foundation. Create a healthy glow. There is nothing better than you put something on and everyone goes, wow, what have you done? You go, nothing. It's just my top. Oh, that top's a winner on you. Boost your confidence because look good, feel good, act good. And makes you look rested, which is imperative, especially if you have kind of a high-stress job. Or you're going out on a date. And the night before, you've either been up with your children, working on a project, ill, or dancing on the tables. It could be any of the above. You've woken up the next morning not really looking flash. The right colours can sometimes magically erase a lot of that away. And they will enhance your natural features. Now, the wrong colours cast unflattering shadows, emphasise imperfections, drain your complexion, add years. That only works if you're 16, you want to get into the pub. Other than that, we do not want to add years to our appearance. And I'm not saying if you're a 16-year-old watching this, that's how you get there. They will still catch you out. And they'll create a tired look. So, I have been known to say, if you need to get a day off work, just wear the wrong colours the day before. Let's pretend I didn't say that. But it works against you. So let me just say here and now, you can wear whatever you like, whenever you like. Just be aware of what it's doing. And if to you wearing something will make you feel better and that is all that matters, then do it. Do it, and have a ball. But if it's really important to get something right at work or to leave a good impression with someone, wearing the right colours can just add another layer to everything you're trying to build up. So, you choose. It helps you align how you look with how you feel. And as we know, how we look and how we feel can lead us to how we act. And also, when someone first meets you, if you look the way they expect based on what they know and in harmony, it's just another layer of, okay, we trust that. Now let's get to know them a bit better. So enhance your natural beauty. So how can you do this at home? You can call an image consultant, but right now, if you're sitting there, what should I wear? The jewellery test. Get some gold, get some silver. Put them on, see which looks best against your skin. There is a reason why I wear both. Because one side of me, of my colouring is very warm, another part of it is cool, so I mix them. But for those who are very cool, you look great in silver. For those who are very warm, you look best in gold. And if you can wear all of them, you're going to be in one of these sort of subgroups. We can talk about that later. Or you can do the lipstick test. Get a warm lipstick. So maybe go down to your pharmacy or down to one of your makeup retailers and try some lipsticks on. Try a peach and try like a really cool pink. One is going to look way better than the other. If it's the pink, you're cool. If it's the peach or coral, you're warm. And that's your direction. If you're a blend of the two, guess what? You like the jewellery test, you like me. You're a blend. And the white test. So when we're draping, first lot of drapes we work with, we've got a white. Just do that. See which looks better on you. Now, here's something to keep in mind. With teeth whitening as it is today, a lot of people can wear bright white a lot later into their years. But we can't necessarily change the whites of your eyes. So be aware wearing a white, if it's not necessarily in your palette, and you have had your teeth done, it can make your eyes look tired. But if you haven't had your teeth done, just wearing a bright white, if it's whiter than your teeth are going to look really stained. So wear a shade just around, just below your teeth so your teeth come out whiter. So that's something you can do at home. That helps you understand a little bit about which direction your palette's going in. The digital swatch revolution. Oh, I'm hearing about this everywhere. All of these apps that are out there, you put your face in, it will tell you what colours to wear, digital swatches, what's working, what's not. So, having digital colour analysis with the apps, pop your face in, but generally I find they don't work because they're not nuanced. One of the things I learned, and you'll see down there is a picture of a digital swatch. Yes, digital swatch. And when we were putting it together, we were trying to get the computer to analyse the luminosity of a colour. It couldn't. It could tell us the warmth, warm and cool. It could tell us the shade. So where it sat around here on the colour wheel, how light or dark it was, how clear or muted. But we couldn't get the luminosity to work. So a lot of these they just stop short. It stays in your phone as opposed to being in your handbag. It is consistent. The colours are the same. Unlike sometimes with a print process, which I learnt in the very early days, you had to check every print run because this colour may come in as it was back then. This is with digital print. I don't use digital print anymore. And then the next time, because of the colour it's being printed next to, it had a slight difference of colour. Now, critics argue, and I'll agree with some, technology can't capture nuances in the hair, the skin and the eyes that the trained eye can. I've even got a colour calculator that my consultants use, but I always tell them to look at the client properly before they make an analysis, because we had to have a demarcation line between the warm, the clears, the neutrals, and wasn't always so easy. So the trained eye, whether it's looking at a photo, but then also I've heard screen calibration. I just wanted to show you, we spend a lot of hours making sure that our colours, the paper, is there. So it is close. There is very little difference between the digital and the print. So, whilst there are some apps that can help image professional consultants, they can take you through the steps and help you in a way that technology never can. Modern colour analysis is, we use advanced technology, digital draping, calibrated lighting to help analyse the colouring in your photo. Now it's all about diversity. We don't put one culture, one racial group into one colour anymore. Everyone, no matter where they're from, what racial group they're from, what background, that racial background, they can go into an element or a version of all of the 12. And the fundamental principles remain the same. It's all about light theory. It's about temperature, it's about light and darkness, and it's about clarity. That's what we're looking at. Whether we're putting them into 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 colour groups. Those principles are where it's always been. It's the colour, the hue, the value, the lightness and the darkness, and the intensity, the purity or the softness. And this is where, whilst we can give you digital tools and we can do it all online, we still need our eye to tell you what colour group you are. So that is how colour analysis has developed since 380 BC. Now, if you'd like to get your colours done by one of my consultants, they're all over the globe. Use the QR code, find someone near you, and I'm sure you will just love discovering what your colours are, whether you go paper or digital. Just discover what colours suit you. You'll never look back. It's an investment for life. Bye for now. Clare Maxfield, Image Innovators. And if you'd like to know anything more about our tools, training and resources, drop me a line or put one in the chat here wherever you find this video. Bye for now.